Oh, buckle up, guys, because this one's a doozy. I don't usually make videos like this because I'm not a drama alert channel, but when it is something that is pertaining to me, involved in my interests, I tend to take a special notice, and I will make an exception. So this is one of the most egregious cases of fursuit maker crash out I've ever seen, and potentially they could have stolen up to $250,000 from their customers. Let's get into it. For those of you who don't know, fursuits aren't cheap. These things run anywhere from $2,000 all the way to $20,000 US per fursuit. They are not cheap. They are the most expensive carpet you will ever use, ever wear. It's insane. The prices are exorbitant, but that's okay as long as it's agreed on beforehand by the customer and the maker and everything is copacetic. That wasn't the case. Let me go all the way back to the wonderful year of 2018. At this point, FurTheWin Studio, the studio in question, was established in 2011. So at this point in 2018, where our story starts, they are already 7 years old. In order to do a little research on the history of this company, I decided to look up the old reviews. Luckily, there is an entire website dedicated to reviewing fursuit makers. Sounds so funny. I'm in my like drama alert voice and I'm talking about fursuits. There's something funny about that dichotomy. There is an entire website dedicated to fursuit reviews. It's literally just called Fursuit Review. So I was on the hunt for the earliest review for FurTheWin Studio because this is what I was interested in. I was trying to establish whether or not they have a history of bad business practices. And this isn't unheard of in the fandom. A lot of people are small business owners, and a lot of times they don't have the experience required to have good business practices, which is good communication and proper time allotted to fulfilling their orders. And also the biggest issue that a lot of these makers and artists or business owners in the fandom face, and this isn't just a fandom centric issue, this is a lot of small businesses, is that they take on way more orders than they're able to reasonably come out with in a reasonable amount of time, which leaves a lot of customers wondering for years when their commission is going to be completed. So if we go all the way back to the earliest review, I thought this was very interesting. The first review ever on this website, so there's 7 years from 2011 to 2018, where we have really no idea other than word of mouth. But the first official review, I thought this was very interesting, is a not recommended, do not commission them review. This was posted by a user called Faustine on Twitter. And I thought it was very interesting that in 2018, this user was already complaining about FurTheWin Studios business practices. It really seemed like the writing is already on the wall. It's all right there. I don't know. Like, it's insane to me that this was allowed to continue for so long. And people kept commissioning them, hoping to get a fursuit made by them. And don't get me wrong, their suits don't look bad. It's not like their build quality is that bad, although this review does mention having issues with the build quality of their fursuit. But visually, it looks fine. It looks totally fine. What I was curious to see was about their professionalism and their communication. And in this section, they said professionalism was massively lacking. Some of the workers were a pleasure to speak to. The others were just treating me like trash when I had questions. They never had any straight answers. I was told by a friend who owns a suit by them they were intimidated by them not to post a negative review. Hence, no one has said anything about them or done reviews, which is our first piece of evidence here. This is obviously hearsay. This is just he said, she said, because there's no official proof or anything. But I did think it was curious that they already are mentioning that people haven't posted negative reviews because they're scared of retaliation. Keep that in mind. Project completion time, on the other hand, I was told when I commissioned that my suit would be ready in February of 2017. When I asked for a queue, I was told there was no public queue, and they cannot tell you where you are on the queue, which is strange because you'd think that a company that you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on, this particular commission cost this user $2,700 USD in 2018. So they said that that began to worry them. After February 2017 came, I heard nothing, and I was hoping that it would be finished for fall 2017. Then in fall, I was told winter 2017/New Year 2018. And finally, after making a public post about how upset I was, the suit was finished April 2018 in time for FWA, which is Furry Week in Atlanta. For those of you who are just popcorn munching this drama, which I don't blame you. So I thought that was interesting. And then on further review of every single review on the Fursuit review website, I thought it was interesting that the first two are negative reviews, 2018, both in 2018, both posted 2 days apart from each other. This one also says multiple ETAs were passed, payment plan, single piece. This wouldn't cost between $500 and $1,000. But I thought what was interesting is that after this, it seems like they kind of got back on the wagon. Every single commission afterwards in 2018, 2019, and 2020 were recommended by the reviewers of Fursuit website, where you can post yes, or no, or okay, depending on your experience with FurTheWin with any fursuit company. So a lot of people in 2018, from 2019 to 2020, it seemed like their commissions were going okay, or at least the people that posted reviews on this website were treated well enough to post one. But then after that, there's a 2-year gap between 2020 and 2022 where all the reviews afterwards are no. And that is interesting. The last review being June 4th, 2024 by a Jake the Wolf. This one cost even more money. This one was a lump sum of between $3,000 and $4,999. So we already have a baseline for what this company is about, the shortcomings of this company, and we already have a bit of a foundation to build upon. That is until October 27th, 2023, when this user Spitfire posted their beware on FurTheWin Studios. They said, just gonna skip to the details. In 2020 and 2021, I commissioned FurTheWin for 2 full suits. Unfortunately, had to get a refund on the 2021 commission a year later due to unforeseen circumstances. The 2021 commission was not started. FurTheWin agreed to give me a partial refund once someone else's commission purchase matched the cost of his commission, which is insane. And I don't know if that's legal. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm trying my best to do my research and keep everything copacetic. The fact that they're waiting on a refund until the business owner for FurTheWin gets a commission that is congruent to the amount of commission price that this person who wants a refund is asking for. So essentially, a Ponzi scheme. This user named Blazing Spitfire also recapped and said FurTheWin has ignored multiple requests to cancel, going against their own terms of service, misled me about their terms of service refund policy, pressured me to accept a suit I did not pay for instead of my previously agreed 2021 refund, threatened withholding refund if legal action is taken, tried discouraging legal action by mild intimidation, refused to set a deadline on an order going on 4+ years. They were never told of high employee turnover rate affecting building until pressed. And then they said, I am at my wit's end with them and will be making good on my word from this day forward. I will refuse to remain silent on the matter because I don't want any more people to become a victim of their bad business practices. It really makes me wonder why the employee turnover rate is high. This is the first post that brought my attention to this company. This user, Blazing Spitfire, went on to pursue legal action against FurTheWin Studios. And then on November 11th, 2024, they updated. They said, FurTheWin studio lawsuit update. Long story short, court date came this month. I drove 9 hours to Montreal, showed up on time, and the owner of FurTheWin Studios, Anoush, never showed up. I did not get the final verdict until a few weeks/months from now, and finger crossed in my favor. So they actually took FurTheWin to court over this issue, which more power to them. I mean, $3,000, still small claims court, but they did pursue legal action, which I think is wonderful. I think people taking power back and not getting scammed and taking action over getting scammed is really admirable. And then a month later, in December 2nd of 2024, they said final update to the FurTheWin lawsuit. This was a typo. The FRW was a typo. Today I won against FurTheWin Studios. Anoush, victory has never tasted so sweet. Victims of scammers, you have powers. Fursuit makers are not untouchable. So this user, Blazing Spitfire, sued and won against FurTheWin Studios. So you'd think, oh, that's the end of the story. Is it not? No, my sweet summer child, because like an onion, like a flower in springtime, it unfolds. A month later, in January 2025, Blazing Spitfire, the one that has been scammed by this company, the person that has sued FurTheWin, and the person that has won in their lawsuit against FurTheWin, put out this update that said, I was debating on posting this, but I figured my followers who are going to sue should know this. My fight with FurTheWin Studios is far from over. Why? Well, Anush has a deadline to pay me back. Big surprise, she didn't. Next steps are to hire a bailiff who seizes assets. However, Anush is an indigenous person and is protected under law under the Indian Act. This means that nothing is legally seizable by a bailiff. But don't take this as me giving up, so as long as there are doors open to me, I will be exhausting all my options until I can't anymore. Why am I telling you this? To warn those who are suing of the risk your lawsuits may turn up empty-handed, or at the very least may make the matter much more complicated in getting the money back. I was very curious about this, and I actually did look this up. On the justice.gc.ca Justice Laws website from the Government of Canada, this is the Indian Act that they're referencing, which says 89-1, subject to this act, the real and personal property of an Indian or a band situated on a reserve is not subject to charge, pledge, mortgage, attachment, levy, seizure, distress, or execution in favor or at the instance of any person other than an Indian or a band. So what he was saying is correct. They're not allowed to seize assets from somebody living on a native reserve unless the person themselves, the creditor, is also a native person's. What the implications or what the ramifications are of this, I don't know, and I'm waiting for an update because this was only last month. That doesn't mean there aren't still updates to this story. Like I said, this is a beautiful flower in springtime that just keeps unfolding, and then it ends up rotting on the vine, and you'll never guess what happens next. FurTheWin Studio countersues Spitfire. That's right, FurTheWin Studio has countersued this user Spitfire for defamation. They said, can't say I didn't see this one coming, but this is something I will be taking seriously. I just wanted my money back. Christ. This is January 21st of 2025. So this is very recent. This is within the last 4 weeks. After these posts came out, a lot of people started coming out with their own stories about FurTheWin. I personally have seen at least 4 or 5 individual bewares. Multiple people have come forward with their situations and personal experiences with FurTheWin, including this user called Hoshi Karama, who says, it is my pleasure to announce I am demanding FurTheWin Studios settle with me or face legal action for gross breach of contract and negotiated terms. This was posted July 16th, 2024. In August 16th of 2024, Hoshi says that right now I'm suing her for a full refund, her being FurTheWin Studios, and the filing fees. I'd like my head too, as FurTheWin has my money for 2+ years past deadline with very little to show for it. Finally, as an aside, FurTheWin's attitude through this has been quite sour when trying to discuss this. She's referred to me as a liar and a defamer for sharing what a nightmare this has been. She also tried to dodge her court orders claiming indigenous status. So this was in August 16th of 2024, and this is the last update we have from this person about this lawsuit. As far as I'm aware, there is no update to this lawsuit, but I'll keep my eyes open for that as well. I did think it was interesting, just as an aside, that this user Hoshi says that FurTheWin Studio refuses to ship this head that they paid for or allow anyone to pick it up. She's holding it hostage and threatening to withhold all work in retaliation for suing her. So as far as I've seen, there is no update to this lawsuit yet. The only official lawsuit that is finished is the Blazing Spitfire lawsuit. That is notwithstanding, there is dozens of people who have come forward with their experience with FurTheWin Studios, and here's where things get weird. That's right, mere days after countersuing Blazing Spitfire, FurTheWin Studio files for bankruptcy in Canada. This is the actual official filing. This is from February 4th, 2025, a mere 13 days after countersuing Blazing Spitfire. And I blurred some of the names and stuff because your boy can't get sued, okay? I don't got the money for that. What is extremely interesting here is not only have they declared bankruptcy, but because they declared bankruptcy, we can see publicly what their total liabilities are and their total liabilities add up to $408,000, 711. This is their total amount of liabilities. And keep in mind, this is Canadian, so their total liabilities in USD translate to 287,342 United States dollars, $250,000 in liabilities. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that they owe $250,000 to their customers. There are a lot of things that can be included in liabilities when you declare bankruptcy, including credit card debts, student loans, medical bills, and personal loans. So this does not necessarily mean that this individual owes $408,000 Canadian to their customers. But what this does show is that their total assets, which amount to $250,000 Canadian, are incredibly surmounted by their liabilities, which says that they are in debt by an incredible amount. So they have declared bankruptcy for FurTheWin Studios mere days after countersuing another user for defamation, which, from what I've seen, the only thing that they've ever posted about FurTheWin was about their personal experiences, their screenshots of their communication, and just an overall breakdown of the process of suing them and winning for the money that they're owed. So immediately after this breaks, everyone's running around like a chicken with their head cut off, because this is insane. This is saying that this is them throwing in the towel and completely dissolving their fursuit making company. But it doesn't end there. There are so many twists in this story. On FurTheWin's Instagram, they posted an update one day ago that says FurTheWin Studio is officially closed, their Facebook page is hacked, their personal Facebook is hacked, they're suing individuals for defamation. So I was actually surprised by this, that they're just straight up, announcing that they're suing individuals for defamation, even though they're $151,000 in declared debt. Currently suing individuals for defamation, bankruptcy declared, mass shipping completed parts, including finished parts and heads, which I think that's a dubious statement at best, because clearly they are not creating fursuits for anyone on a timely manner. So I would be very, very surprised if people that currently have commissions from FurTheWin receive anything. And then they do mention that their Facebook page is hacked, and I just thought this was funny. If you go to their Facebook page, it links to a US Studios page with 19,000 likes and 20,000 followers. And for some reason, it's just an account dedicated entirely to posting pictures of singer Kelly Pickler. It's just pictures. It's just pictures of Kelly Pickler, who I've never heard of in my life, dude. I keep scrolling. So they must have gotten their Facebook hacked or something, or sold it off to another company. You can see right here, January 25th, this is where their Facebook account gets hacked. US Studios then posts their logo, US Studio, on January 21st, and then they just keep posting pictures of various celebrities, most notably Kelly Pickler. I just thought that was funny. That really doesn't have anything to do with the story, but it is funny, and it does add to this weird web of strangeness that is going on. They also did post an update on their Instagram on January 1st that says, "Hello everyone. Throughout 2024, I went through a traumatic situation that made it incredibly difficult to even go on social media. Thankfully, just recently, this traumatic chapter has almost come to an end as we achieved a victory in court a few days ago. I do not know what they're talking about. As far as I'm aware, they've only lost in court. I don't know if this is a personal lawsuit that they're currently undergoing, or if this is the Hiroshi lawsuit or somebody else. It's very unclear. This fear and stress have been deeply overwhelming, and I'm still finding it challenging to fully return to social media. Please know that I haven't forgotten about you. I'm slowly getting back to being present here step by step. Many things have impacted my ability to stay active on social media platforms, but I am making a gradual return. Thank you so much for understanding and support." Yeah, stealing $151,000 is, usually that would also make me nervous to return to social media as well. And I shouldn't say that, because we do not know actually how much they are owed to their customers. Again, their bankruptcy filings don't tell us that. It only tells us that they have a debt incurred of $400,000 in liabilities, and that's Canadian once again. So the final update, when I thought that everything was done, when I thought we would be in a holding pattern, for the next few weeks, months, waiting for updates on this, waiting to see what comes of these various lawsuits. They're countersuing, they're getting sued by various customers. What is going on in their head? And then I found their Twitch account. That's right. The creator of FurTheWin, Anush, the person who is owing all of this money, has rebranded themselves as a full-time Twitch streamer. They go by Dark Yeti. This is confirmed by multiple different people on social media that this is in fact them. And they stream every single day. 18 hours ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 6 days ago, 7 days ago, 8 days ago, 9 days ago. So while they're going through all of these lawsuits and owing all of their customers money, what are they doing? They're playing Liar's Bar, Decarnation, Just Chatting, Mario 8 Deluxe, Chance of Cinnabar, between 2 to 4 hours per day, every single day. This is probably the most bizarre part of this entire story, because if I was being sued, yeah, I wouldn't want to be public facing a lot, especially when there are so many there's so many different people that are trying to get replies out of you. And this is pure speculation, but to me, the vibe that I get from this is they're completely trying to divorce their image of being a fursuit maker, and instead they are just going full-time into the Twitch streaming. Yep, it's going pretty well. That is the last adventure. So while they are playing Super Mario 8 Deluxe, while other people are currently litigating them, and while they currently have a liability of $400,000, we will wait and see with bated breath and bushy tails and some other furry bullshit, whatever, to see what comes of this. Please don't sue me. I'm a good boy, I promise. I was just saying the facts, bro. Do not sue me. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. The moral of the story is be careful who you give your money to. Look up reviews, talk to people, and make sure that before you give anybody thousands and thousands of dollars that you will not be scammed, because as you can see, the process to get that money back has been anything but simple, and I would hate to see you guys suffer the same fate. My heart goes out to the victims of FurTheWin Studio as well, the people that have been affected, the people that have lost thousands of dollars. I'm really hoping for the best for you guys. All right, that's gonna do it for today. Until next time, slop responsibly. My name is Neon. I'll see you in the next one. Later!